There was lots of hot water in these granites as they formed and as they cooled. So the decay process was happening, it looks like, at an accelerated rate, with lots of water carrying decay products rapidly under great pressure inside these crystals as they were forming, which you can't get without a flood. We are in the Sierra Nevadas. The park is in the Sierra Nevada mountain range, and we're thinking about these mountains, and we're going to compare the conventional or mainstream age assignment for these mountains, which are made of granite. It's a whitish gray granite. You can see them behind me and right here even. Prior generation of Institute for Creation Research geologists did an awesome in-depth study of these very granites that we have here in the Sierras. And one of the aspects of their study had to do with using a microscope to look at teeny tiny details inside teeny tiny crystals that are inside the granite. And we can see them here. So I'm just going to pick up a piece of granite from the ground here from this trail. And you can see that granite has feldspar, which is the white mineral, sometimes quartz, and these little black flakes, lots of little black flakes called biotite. And in those flakes are little tiny crystals that are invisible to our eyes, zircon crystals. And inside those crystals are little uranium, what are called uranium halos. And these are features that you can see with a microscope, and it's like a dot, and then there's these concentric rings around a central point. And those represent the distance that as uranium is decaying, the distance at which particles stopped in the crystal there. Well, the cool thing is, polonium is one of the decay products of uranium. But the thing about polonium is, it also is radioactive. So it spits out its concentric shells of particles. The thing is though, that the half-life or the decay rate is so short, it stabilizes in minutes. So here's the mystery. Inside all these granites, we've got these polonium radiohalos. And they've been separated or distanced from the uranium parent nucleus. And so we have to have some process to distance these polonium atoms from their parent atoms. So the only logical option that we see is what we call hydrothermal fluids. Hydrothermal, so it means hot water. So what that seems to indicate is that there was lots of hot water in these granites as they formed and as they cooled. So these polonium radiohalos in these very granites show that something different was happening in the past than what happens today. So the decay process was happening, it looks like, at an accelerated rate, with lots of water carrying decay products rapidly under great pressure inside these crystals as they were forming. So what does it mean? Rapid, catastrophic emplacement and cooling of these granites. It matches the timing of Noah's flood, and we think these granites are flood rocks, and we think that the valley, we're here in the Yosemite Valley, was carved by glaciers that formed from the Ice Age. The Bible does explain a lot of what we see here, so thanks for joining us for another episode of Creation on Location.